Hey, how you doing, guys? It's Leon Street here, and I thought I'd just jump on to give you guys some clear steps and strategies that you can use in your coaching business to take you from where you are right now, if you're at that 50 to 150,000 pound level, to a place where your marketing results are consistently generating the kind of income or even the kind of satisfaction that you want out of your coaching business. And the main reason why this has come up as a topic, or the reason why I'm doing this as a topic, is mainly because of some of the calls that I've had with coaches over the past, let's say, 3 to 4 weeks. And one of the big questions is always, where do we start? Where do we really kick off and take our business to the next level in marketing, to produce the kind of results? Or we can go to that next level. Apologies for that. I just see somebody who's trying to call me on Facebook Messenger. You know what? I'm going to have to make sure I turn the app off so I'm not in, avoiding people really getting in the way. But anyway, so the point I was talking about was, what is it that's got to happen in your coaching business to really move to that next level? Because quite often, the way that you want to grow your business, you see the vision, you see the goal. And for a lot of people, it makes complete and utter sense consciously. But what happens in terms of the unknowns or the challenges or the problems that people face is the fact that it's not as simple in terms of achieving the goal when you set things out, but actually there's other factors that come into play: competition, self-sabotage, fears, unknown things that can happen with the market, and you're trying to kind of compete against all of those things. And where does that leave you? What does that leave you with when you're trying to grow your business from that 50 to 150k level? And you're left there stuck thinking, well, what do I actually do? And so I'm going to cover 3 things that I want you guys to bear in mind. And actually, I did some training on this to our Facebook group recently, and you'll probably see the training behind me here, and this is on the board. And so in this, I was talking about, just remind myself, I was talking about why coaches' marketing campaigns often fail and the 3 steps you can take to prevent that. And a lot of the times people aren't paying attention to these 3 areas, and what I want to do is just go into them briefly so that you guys watching this can really understand where I'm coming from. And so one of the things is, really understanding your target audience, because a lot of businesses, they'll get to a certain level in business, in their company, and think, great, I've hit that 50 to 150k level, but where do I go next? And generally the types of things that you're faced with are cash flow peaks and troughs. And so where income's coming in and it's great some months, and other weeks and other months it's actually dipped. And what you're trying to do is fight against the tide in terms of making sure that you hit your numbers. And the numbers are to make sure that you're hitting those minimums for you to sustain that 50 to 150k level. And the next thing is kind of like, once you start to move along that journey to 50 to 100k, it's like, how do we create the consistency in order to continue to grow the business? And part of that is truly having your target audience, and in particular your niche, really dialed in. Because what I find is a lot of people, when they're really just ready to go to that next level, their niche isn't dialed in, and that creates a problem in terms of the messaging being off kilter. And trying to serve more than one target audience might sound great because you're thinking, well, I can corner the market here, I can get this type of person, that type of person. But in reality, what happens is your message becomes diluted. And it's the difference between being super focused and trying to get everybody in. Your energy, as I mentioned, is kind of broken up into parts. It's diluted the effectiveness, and therefore you can't really hit where you want to be. So one of the key things that I recommend, guys, is that if you are trying to improve your marketing results, pick one niche over a 90-day period. And when I say niche, that if you're going for, as an example, small businesses or a specific type of market, just choose what are the characteristics. So what are the, and I know you can see this in reverse, but I'll tell you what it is. What are the attributes? So what are the key attributes of what make up people? So have you got a specific age range? Have you got a specific income structure? Are there specifics to where your target audience are located. Is there something specific to the challenge and the problem that these people have, and go after that one particular niche. And it's important because that way, over a 90-day period, your message will stay absolutely focused. And that's the key thing whenever you're trying to take your marketing to that next level. It's the focus of the audience, knowing their problem and knowing what you can do to help them with the solution. So focus on that. Step 2 is really all about, as I said, knowing the problem. Now, a lot of the time, and I deal with many types of businesses, and just to give you an example, like 80% of my client base are coaches, life business coaches, executive coaches. You're probably talking, leadership, success. So everything around coaching. Like even in the past 2 days, I've spoken to such a plethora, even like relationships and dating coaches. And it's kind of like, where is that understanding of what is the true problem, which is what I've got here. What is the true problem of your target audience? So once you've dialed in that niche, do you truly understand the problem? And it's so easy to say, yeah, of course I understand the problem. They've got this and they've got that. But the reality is a lot of people don't dig deep enough into what the challenges and the problem is of their target audience or their ideal customer. And so what I mean by that is most people understand what the problem is based on maybe the symptoms. Like there are specific things that show up in the lives or the businesses of the people that you're targeting. And that gives you a certain type of understanding in terms of the problem. You know the symptoms, you see the general things, and these are generally known as the known spoken. So they're the known things that are spoken about. But what people fail to go into is what are the things that are known unspoken, because that's where you really get into the pains of your target audience. And the known unspoken is this: what are the things that your target audience are embarrassed about? The things that they wouldn't, dream of sharing with probably their nearest and dearest or their closest people around them. How you doing, Pin? Thanks for jumping on. And one of the most powerful things about getting into a place of the known unspoken is these key things are probably what keeps a person up at night, what keeps your ideal customer up at night. What is it that they worry about? And not worry about, the things that everybody kind of is aware of around them, but what do they worry about that they're even, they're fearful and even shameful. They feel shame in actually even telling like their wife, their husband, even their business partners. Like, what are they keeping as that deepest, darkest secret? Now imagine, your target audience, and I know this is in reverse, guys, but I'm just sharing this with you. You know your target audience, but imagine knowing their pain or problem to that level. Yeah. And there's a few steps that you can go through in order to really pull out what is the true known unspoken. What are the things that they're truly embarrassed about? And I mean, even working with some of my clients, when we're going into, well, what is the problem? There's a very simple technique that you can use if you want to dig. If you truly want your marketing campaigns to be successful, you've got to know your target audience inside out. And here's how you dig. When you understand the kind of basic general idea of what the problem is, then say to either yourself or say to maybe if you've got clients already, which I'm assuming you have at the 50 to 150K level, you say to them, and you go to your existing clients because generally they're the people who will tell you more about, what your target audience are experiencing. You say, but why? But why do you have this problem? And when they give you an answer, you say it again, but why? And what you're doing is digging and you're peeling back the layers of truly understanding the problem to a higher level than most of your competition are going to be aware of. And you know why? Because most competitors, they stay at the symptom level. They stay at the easy and lazy. Sorry guys, if my internet connection is dropping. I just saw it just pop up there. Wasn't aware that the connection wasn't stable, so my apologies. But the point I was getting to is your competition are generally lazy. Yeah, most people don't do the research, and you'd be surprised how many clients that I work with, even at the multi-7-figure level, and they only, I would say, know their audience like 50%, and actually it's the other 50% where you get the true connection, the true understanding, and the true commitment to when people actually choose to work with you. And it's actually where you then take your marketing results to the next level. Because here's the reality: most people say, you know, who I come across, should I be doing Facebook ads? Should I be doing LinkedIn? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing Google? Should I be doing YouTube ads? And the reality is that they don't understand or know their target audience to the degree of the known unspoken. What is it that they're, you know, embarrassed and shameful about and truly need help with? You do that, guys, and that's where you solve step number 2. So what's number 3? 3 is actually, once you've clearly identified who that target audience is, you've got to know where they hang out. And most people just take it for granted. Oh, I need to jump on Facebook. I'm going to do Facebook ads, or I'm going to do YouTube ads, or LinkedIn, or whatever. You've got to understand, is your client a B2B customer? If they are, maybe they're going to be on LinkedIn, more likely. Are they a B2B customer? And actually, yes, they're probably going to congregate on Facebook. And when you truly get into that place, you're really going to lock into where do they hang out. Like, here's another thing. Are you a business owner right now and you're thinking, well, where do my audience hang out? Maybe it is offline networking. You know, there's a lot of people, and I remember, especially when I started out my small business career, the first place I went to and was introduced to was BNI. So BNI networking. And actually it had such a great mix of people that I was able to learn different, you know, tactics and just ways to communicate with people. But the point I'm getting to is that because if I go back to 2008, that's when I first started to do my business networking. But then if you think about how technology has grown since then, so now we're in 2018, so that's like showing 10 years in this, especially around the networking side of things. I don't network as much because actually technology has grown up with the way that I market, so that you are going to find people on Facebook and you are going to find people on LinkedIn. So media, which is the third step that I was talking about. Once you've identified target audience, you've identified their pain and problem, and you've got into that deep level, you're now going into the media. And it might be that some of your customers actually, look at this, maybe your customers are connected to a referral partner or a strategic partner. What does that mean? It simply means that you might not have to invest as heavily in some of the areas that people tell you that you should be investing in. And actually you might come across a source where actually you can just tap into customers. And I'll give you one particular example, and I use my own business as the example. So I target life and business coaches, executive leadership coaches, blah, blah, blah. But what I've found is actually there's a group of people who serve the same customer base, but they serve them in a different way. They serve them by helping them to close clients. And these people are called high ticket closers. Yeah. And what happens there is that the high ticket closers focus on one aspect of a coach's business, closing, selling. Whereas what I do, I help coaches to generate more leads consistently by putting in place the right marketing strategy. So what you can see is there's 2 specific services going on there. So therefore we serve the customer in 2 different ways. And what happened is about 3 months ago, I stumbled across this niche strategic partnership. So where has that led me? Well, in 3 months, it's led me to over £100,000 in closed contracts over the next 12 months. Plus, I've currently got one opportunity that I'm currently exploring for $250,000. Yeah. And so what I'm getting to, guys, is that you've really got to understand these points here, because marketing is not about what's the latest technology fad. Marketing is what is the message that you have, and can you match it to the market on the right channel? That's marketing in essence. And when you come from that place, you don't overcomplicate it. You don't think I need the best website in the world. You don't think I need the best Facebook ads in the world. And you don't create excuses and all these other kind of BS tactics. What happens is you start to understand your customer. And then when you hear those words of people saying, you know, my approach in business is to be authentic and come from this place of integrity, that's where you find it. Because when you truly understand the target audience, when you understand what their problem is, there's nothing else but authenticity and integrity, because you are focused on that customer and you are the solution to their biggest pain, and truly knowing what it is that serves them in the best way. So for me, guys, those are the 3 steps. And if you've jumped on and you missed the initial part, I'd really recommend you catch the beginning part of this video. If you're watching live, give me a hashtag live, or if you're watching on the replay, give me a hashtag replay. But I'd be really interested, guys, if you've got any questions about what I'm speaking at, and you're a coach or you're a consultant even, and you kind of offer complimentary services that that kind of cross over into the space of coaching, and you've got any specific challenges with your marketing, what I'd do is reach out to me. I'm going to put a link below the comments, or in the comments below this video even. But one of the key things that I find is a lot of people, they talk themselves out of growing past that 50 to 150k level just because they've been through some bad experiences, or they've hit a roadblock. And generally the roadblock is overwhelm and not understanding actually where can I go next, or what can I do to really take my business to the next level. Well, that's where I help my clients. So guys, if you've enjoyed this video, give me some hearts, give me some love, give me a thumbs up. I want to shout out Ian, thanks for jumping on board. But guys, how you doing, Anna? Thanks for jumping on board. Like I said, any question you have, just drop a question or comment below this video. But I've got to shoot, got a coaching call to do right now. So thanks for watching, guys. Have an amazing day. Take care.